Today we're going to talk about characters and how they're developed or created and how authors can make them seem real or plausible. So what are some ways that authors help us understand and make a mental picture of their characters? Can you think of any ways an author does this that are not about physical description? So anything that's not about just what they look like? And what makes characters in books seem real, plausible, or believable? So to answer all three of those questions, we're going to take a look at this chart. You can see there's three main ways that authors do this. The first one over to the right-hand side, physical. This is the one that you've probably used a lot yourself when you're writing, especially when you're writing lots of stories in grade 6. You would have taken some time to talk about what they look like, what they're wearing, all that sort of stuff. Then, and we can tell some things about a character based on what they look like, what kind of shoes they're wearing, if they're a teenager, if they're older. All of those things do help paint a picture, but we need more than that. So the other two that you don't always think of are the actions, or what the character does, and the dialogue, what the character says, and how the character speaks. So I've put an example here of some of Hagrid speaking, just to talk about that dialogue part. You can read through it, it's right at the bottom there. And when I'm reading Harry Potter out loud, I always get a little bit nervous about reading the Hagrid parts because, well, you can see there, they come across with kind of an accent, but it's meant to make him seem uneducated. And so you can tell quite a lot about characters based on the way they speak, the words that they're choosing to use, how properly they're speaking, how casually they're speaking. So if you were writing a teenage character, you might use more casual language, more slang words, and those words might not make the same sense coming out of, let's say, a character that is the Queen of England. Okay, and then there's the actions, what the character does, which are going to help further along your plot. Now, this is important information to have when we are writing, but it's also super important to know all three of these and consider them when you're reading books and stories and when you're thinking about character motivation, all of those things. You want to think really hard about who is the character and what has the author done to create that character.